Bringing the newspapers this morning. Going to start with the Irish Independent here. And so the Irish Independent leads Dublin brought down to earth. And Colm Keys, Monaghan make their mark with timely bench press. Eamon Sweeney, Farney have given Gavin's rivals reason to hope. Also, we haven't talked about this just yet, but on the top there, cup wins are for egos, says Pochettino, after second painful defeat. And then John Kiley, we won't be holding back. Limerick off to a flyer with Wexford Park victory. And then taking down England's Giants is the story from Rory O'Connor as Six Nations build-up week starts. The Herald Sport con dubbed out. Questions mounting over Diarmuid's future is the back page headline on the Herald over Frank Roche's story. On the front, Connolly can come back is the Herald's front page story. So from page 1 all the way through to page 56, there's been a change. He could go, no. Ah! Oh, no. Ah! No.
Well, there's doubts about him, but he can come back. I think both of those things can coexist. He was quite diplomatic in his answering.
Well, I didn't understand it. It's like...
vague and diplomatic aren't too dissimilar, I guess.
No, exactly. It's like, I'm going to keep talking here. It's going to filibuster this out. Well, football is a game. It's, 15 aside. The referee throws the ball in. Generally played on a Sunday. Sometimes on Saturday evening. Bank holiday Monday used to be a great day for us. Connolly, yes, good player. Yeah, great player. Keep going. All right, time's up. Off we go. And that's it. That's how it works.
I do wonder what he's actually thinking. It does seem to me that it's becoming increasingly apparent that maybe Diarmuid Connolly just doesn't want to play with Dublin this year. Maybe that's just the case, and maybe he's come home and he's like, "Yep, I've had my bit. I'm happy enough with my lot."
He was asked about Connolly. It's like any player who volunteers their time for playing inter-county football. Those choices that they make are purely those choices. And if players want to come back, we'll be delighted to have them. Does that mean you can just rock up to training? How you doing? I'm going to come. Could we go? Well, what happened if we rocked up to training?
Probably get a game.
We get some gear at least. I mean, we get the head pucked off us in the game, obviously.
They just got beat by Monaghan. I think you'd get a game.
Asked if this meant he didn't want to come back, the Dubs boss countered, no, that's not what I said. So.
What did you say, Jim?
Yeah.
I'm not sure that avenue actually pursued it into actually getting clarity. I presume, as you say, there might have actually been a 9 or 10 minutes of time actually having passed with those quotes, and then it was like, sorry, time to go, that's all you're getting from me today. I don't know, when is this going to rumble on until?
I'd say until the All-Ireland final, right? No, the championship squad will be named, and that'll be the end of it. That'll be, because there's no point, you can't come back. No one's ever come back in a season.
Yeah, there's every chance it becomes a big story later on in the summer, especially if Dublin get beaten early on. And when I mean early on, I mean in the Super 8s, because they're on the same side of the draw as the Connacht champions. There's every chance Mayo beat Dublin in the Super 8s. And then we go into a frenzy about how Dublin actually get this act back together to try and go from a second seed back to All-Ireland champions and winning 5 in a row. And Connolly could be the perfect tonic. So you're probably right, this is going to be a media story that rumbles on for months and months and months. But maybe Connolly's just sitting at home saying, I just don't want to play football for Dublin anymore. It is a huge commitment of your time. And he's seen with his travels last year, there's maybe more to life than winning an All-Ireland here in Ireland. But I guess if you're a top-class athlete and have the potential to go and be part of a 5 in a row winning team, that is also a fairly attractive option.
Yeah, because it's going to last forever. Dublin are down is the back page on the Times Ireland edition, and players are shocked by Lennon ban. This is a story about Neil Lennon, who's been suspended. Speaking after a 3-1 win against St Mirren yesterday, when Eddie May and Grant Murray were in temporary charge, Gray said the players' relationship with Lennon had been no different from usual last week. There was nothing untoward about the squad meeting on Friday when Lennon is alleged to have had an altercation with Flo Camberry, and that he knew nothing of the suspension until he heard the news on TV. So Neil Lennon had been suspended for an alleged altercation with one of the players. So, and then that's Michael Darragh-Macaulay falling over. There was an interesting moment where Michael Darragh-Macaulay was off for a blood sub. His replacement gets sin-binned, and they tried to bring Michael Darragh-Macaulay back on straight away because he was just off for a blood sub. And so he should have been okay to come back on, but in that case, can you nominate somebody else to come off? Or is it?
Good point.
Do you get to pick?
I haven't looked into the nitty-gritty of the sin-bin rule.
Say you're not Dublin, but some other team that has a superstar player who goes off and his replacement, you're like, no, I'm not spending 10 minutes because that's not fair, right?
Well, it is the person who is your substitute for the blood sub rule, so I guess it just transfers onto that person. It has to, really, doesn't it?
Well, like, I don't want to name names or counties, but say David Clifford is off for a blood sub and a sub comes on and he gets sin binned and Clifford has to spend 9 minutes in the bin because a rash of blood to the head. You're going to pick somebody else, right?
No, it's tough luck. Tough luck. The man who got subbed off for the blood sub, who subsequently got black carded, has to stay off. It just makes sense. It's a less complicated rule as well. Referees have too much to do, Ger.
It is definitely less complicated, and I'm not sure I agree with it. It's how it should work. Palace pile on pain for Spurs, so Palace beat Spurs 2-0. Andros Townsend refused to celebrate. Got a lot of crap on Twitter for it, and then answered back with, I was at that club for 16 years. I'm going to show them some respect. They made me into the man I am. It's fair enough.
Yeah, he clearly wasn't watching Alexis Sanchez on Friday night, who went and was like, nah, I'm going to celebrate. And fair play to him. I guess when you get booed by the opposition fans, it makes things a little bit easier to do in terms of actually celebrating against them.
Did they make him into the player he was? They did not.
No, Barcelona did, for sure.
Ticket prices hit record highs for home games. This is a story on the front of the Irish Times. Category 1 tickets priced at 115 quid for fixtures against England and France. Presume we knew that though, right? These ticket prices?
I'm not sure. I haven't gone on to the website.
Sold out for months. Price for England and France games: premium 150 quid, category 1 115, category 2 105, category 3 85, category 4 is 65. Category 4 like sitting behind the goals.
Presumably, yeah. It's not as outrageous as I thought it would be. It's kind of like so the best ticket you can possibly buy as an average punter is €115.
Unless you can get premium for 150.
150. Seems about right to me. Like, I can understand that it's record prices, but that's kind of what you expect to go see again with Test rugby these days, unfortunately, isn't it? It's big prices. You're paying big money to go and see it. To
pay the professional wages of the people who are playing the sport. That's what you're doing. That's how that organisation raises its money.
Yeah, and like I'm not saying that it's like an acceptable number or anything like that. It's just like, as I say, I haven't even gone on to even check the ticket prices. Because
do you not have double standards here because you're not raining fire down on the rugby fraternity that you rained last week on the GAA?
Did I rain fire on the GAA fraternity? As I say, I didn't even go on to even check these prices because I just naturally assumed I'd be priced out of it. And it is a professional organisation. I'm not sure I guess to a certain extent the IRFU should also be promoting the values of the amateur game as well, right? But the IRFU and the GAA aren't too dissimilar when it comes to their ethos in terms of promoting sport within communities. So maybe we should hold them to the same standard.
I have a tab of the morning for you. Sean of a new Kerry era, and that's the great picture for Sean O'Shea's point. It's actually quite far out there. I thought it was in the 21, but...
No, it's just around the 45.
Wow. And the pitch isn't like summer pitch, it's kind of,
No, Niall Morgan shanked a lot of efforts yesterday.
Did he?
Yeah.
And the Kerry lads were like, oh, that's okay, fair play, don't worry, Niall. You'll be grand the next time. We're like, whoa! Which one was it on? What were you doing?
Kerry fans don't do sarcastic cheers, so it was all respect.
And then my favourite headline of the day, Davy losing his Wex appeal, is the headline over Ger Loughnane, who is like, just can't wait to get digging in it. He's been all winter long. Who was Ger Loughnane? Now Davy's back. Great.
Well, I think the keyboard was probably already done and dusted before the Wexford game. It was like that column written right for the first Wexford loss. What's he saying?
Clare and Wexford are the only top-tier teams still playing with a sweeper now that the tactical genius that is Derek McGrath has retired. No.
Does he put tactical genius in inverted commas?
No, he doesn't, but I think it's implied. No team has won a trophy in summer hurling using the system since 2013. I mean, 2013 is not that long ago, really. But anyway, sorry, I'm just trying to find some more of... okay. I'm going to keep going with this because it's good. Clare that year were the only side to lift silverware after using the style of play, but they didn't beat either of the two best teams in the country at the time, Tip and Kilkenny. In effect, what the managers of Clare and Wexford are saying to their players, McGrath at Waterford, is you're not good enough for inter-county hurling. The spin is that if you follow their master plans, they're so ingenious only those with an Einstein-esque brain or prize-winning journalists can understand them. Then people can be fooled for long enough to almost win games. jargon and bluster are used to intimidate any critics. It's a con job, of course. Worse than that, it's a blight in the game and it's turning supporters off. That's class. That's what you want from your columnist. That's the first, 200 words.
Is this actually true that there's only 2 teams left playing sweeper in Clare and Wexford? They've done so relatively successfully, and the Clare sweeper role almost worked a treat for Clare against Galway in the All-Ireland semi-final last year. In fact, that was the Galway started that game extremely well, as far as I recall, and they'd gone a few points up early on, and then they started playing a sweeper Clare, and it changed the entire scope of the game. And it ended up going to extra time. So I think from a sweeper perspective, it's still very much on vogue and it's still a very much effective part of modern hurling.
Look, styles make fights, right?
Well, exactly. I'm going to move on to the Sun this morning. Back page says, finishing in top 4 means more. Cup wins FA use, says Ben Hunt. Mauricio Pochettino suffered a cup knockout last night. Says basically that all that matters is a top 4 trophy and winning cups are for egos. The back page of the Irish Daily Star is Clonus Cyclone, Gavin's GAA blast after opening league defeat. Mick is keen on Will, says Paul Lennon. Will Keane could be named the Mick McCarthy squad for the March Euro 2020 qualifier against Gibraltar. You got the Mauricio Pochettino story there as well. And good news for Manchester United fans this morning. Neymar certain to miss Manchester United tie. So PSG's Neymar is set to miss the first leg of their Champions League clash. He suffered a metatarsal injury in the French Cup win over Strasbourg in midweek, going off in tears. Imagine that.
He's broken.
He cannot put weight in his right foot, and it's told he has no chance of making the first leg. It is believed he could be forced to undergo surgery. It seems that way.
Here's the thing. Is there a potential Ewing theory situation where Mbappe takes over and just kills everybody on his own?
Potentially, but have you seen a Ewing situation with PSG before?
No, with Neymar. People like Neymar who are like, oh, give me the ball, I need to have the ball, I need to take this free kick, I need to do this. I need to do my tricks, I need to do the things that sell all the jerseys. Whereas best for the team is probably not him and Mbappe, is it? Well,
we'll see. As I say, we haven't really got a big sample size. PSG rightly get judged in the Champions League because the French league is such a joke at the moment that they just walk it. So any games that we see Mbappe leading the line on his own on the right wing, say for example, without Neymar on the other flank, that's when you can get a judge in this. And maybe that is the first leg against Manchester United, and maybe they will be better. Maybe they will be a more effective team. I doubt it though. I know you're a kind of a big Neymar basher, but I think his particular set of skills are too extraordinary to be ignored.
You're guaranteeing a win for Man United now that he's gone, basically.
You could guarantee a win for Manchester United at the moment based on their own current form, really. The babyface assassin can do no wrong. The back page of the Mirror is no con job. Dublin return for Connolly unlikely as champions lose opener in Clonus. The back page of the Herald then is con dubbed out. Questions mounting over Diarmid's future. And then a couple of the UK back pages. The Guardian leads with top 4 not cups. Pochettino defends elimination and says trophies build egos. And the front page of the Daily Telegraph sports section is winning a trophy only builds egos. Pochettino says top 4 finish trumps cup glory as Spurs crash out after Trippier's penalty miss.